Hey there, Mark Satterfield here. Thanks so much for joining me live, or thanks so much for watching this recorded. You know, you're probably like me. You've gone to a fair number of marketing seminars over the years, and I started to think about the marketing seminars that I've been to because I was thinking an awful lot about authenticity. We've been rebranding my business, the General Rain Marketing theme, which I've had for good Lord, 30 years, is getting a little tired, and was kind of working on a new brand message. And we went around, and I started to think about various marketing seminars I've been and what I've learned, and what were kind of some of the some of the disasters which you also tend to learn from. And I went to this seminar run by a guy by name of T. Harv Eker. He wrote this book called The Millionaire Mindset. Wrote a bunch of other books as well. I mean, guy's a freaking brilliant marketer, and he would use the books to get people to go to the events, and then at the events, they were pretty much a pitch fest. And if you've never been to one of these before, you ought to go just, for the, I don't know, amusement factor, if nothing else. But there were, all sorts of people out there pitching their program. But what was interesting about this one is that they really weren't all that good. But I was young. I was kind of starting off, and I was watching all these people, and there'd be guys that would be coming up on the stage, and they'd be talking about, if there's a $10 bill on the floor, you pick it up. Am I right or am I right? And this whole, am I right or am I right? Phrase they use over and over again. And, they bring out their product, and, they be talking about it, and they go, if you asked me yesterday how much this would be for, I'd sell it to you for, $9,000. And, my wife is going to kill me, but, I was talking about what great deal I could give you today. And, I'm thinking that I can offer it to you for $2,000, but you guys are really just so super special that, if you buy it today, I can offer it to you for $500. And what the heck? I mean, you guys are terrific. I want you to be successful. I'm going to offer it to you right now for $79. And people would line up at the back of the room and buy whatever it was. Well, as I say, I was starting off, and I was kind of going, gee, that doesn't really resonate with me. That's really not who I am. But boy, these guys, they're selling all this stuff. So I had this opportunity to talk to a group in Atlanta. And I said, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this approach. So I put together a presentation. I had a package of stuff that I was going to sell. And I filled my presentation with all sorts of, am I right or am I right? And, sayings. And I had a package, and I was going to sell it for, X, but if you act now, I'm going to sell it for, Y, but because you guys are terrific, and you're my kind of folk, I'm going to sell it for Z. But what the heck, Marion's going to shoot me, but because you are just outstanding people, I'm going to sell it to you for minus ZX. So I did the pitch, and suffice it to say, I didn't sell anything. But then I compounded my mistake. And what I did was I handed out evaluation forms. And I will never forget this, but I had one lady that wrote, "I loathed your presentation." And to this day, 30 years later, I remember that. I loathed your presentation. Now, talk about a learning experience. And what that was is that, there's all sorts of ways to market your business. There's all sorts of different ways that you can present yourself. But what you have to do is obviously be authentic, and not authentic to, the person sitting next to you, not authentic to, someone else, but authentic to you. And that was a message that really resonated with me. So, anyway, we're sitting around, and I'm trying to rebrand the business, because I think, it's getting a little tired. And So Taylor is, kind of giving me some ideas, and Marion's giving me some ideas, and I'm thinking of some ideas, and everything we came up with, just, to be honest with you, sounded like everybody else. And you're probably like me. You're in a business where there's lots and lots of people doing what you do. And one of the challenges that we all face is, hey, how do we stand out? How do we, how do we differentiate ourselves? And so, I started telling Taylor and Marion, the story of, Gary Halbert, who's, in my opinion, one of the greatest marketers who ever lived. He, as I may have mentioned to you before, he passed away, but he was very big on being direct, being direct. And his famous saying was, sometimes the best way to sell a cow is to run an ad that says "cow for sale," and lot of truth to that. So we're going back and forth, back and forth. And Marion asked me, she goes, "Well, Mark, if you distill it down, what the heck do you do?" I said, "Well, I, I teach, I teach people how to sell shit to the rich." And obviously, I'm not meaning selling crappy stuff to wealthy people, but hey, how to sell shit to the rich. That's kind of how the way I talk. That's how I am. That's my authentic self. And if you've noticed our logo, lo and behold, the tagline is sell shit to the rich. And it works out because some people take offense to it, and I can kind of get that. But you're not my kind of person, and I'm in the marketing advice business, and I want to work with people who are kind of on my wavelength. And if you get offended by that, you're probably not on my wavelength. If they think that I'm advocating selling crappy stuff to the wealthy, then I hate to say it, but they're just dumb, and I don't want to work with dumb people. But people that get it, kind of go, "That's really cool. I really like that." So it winds up being a good branding message, in the sense that I think I'm the only person that's saying, sell your shit to the rich. So it does stand out, and it resonates with me. Now, of course, I'm not saying for a moment that you go out and just use profanity or do something that isn't isn't consistent with who you are. But if it is if there is a message that really, really distills down who you are, and is consistent with who you are, and you can have some fun with it, because quite frankly, sell shit to the rich is kind of, I mean, it's amusing, it's lighthearted. I'm not being all stum and drang, to, as I'm probably mispronouncing that, and my German friends can tell me. But so anyway, if I play the movie backwards, and that's the fun thing about being in business for a long time, is you get to play the movie backwards. I can see everything that happened when we were doing our rebranding exercise goes back to that evaluation I got after I tried to mimic someone else who wasn't my authentic self. And when she put, "I loathed your presentation," man, that was a wake up call. So anyway, I hope you found this helpful. Hope it gives you some ideas for how you can brand and differentiate your business. I mean, quite frankly, when we're marketing to the affluent, we got to do stuff that's different. We got to stand out, because Lord knows, they've heard it all before. So thanks again for watching this, either live or as it's been recorded. Shoot me a note, drop me a message, or DM me how this how this resonates with you. What kind of challenges you've been facing in terms of branding your business? What's working? What's not? I'd love to hear from you. So until we have a chance to meet or chat personally one of these days, this is Mark Satterfield. Bye for now.